Well, classic Ravens and Steelers, wasn't it? It came down to literally the last possession. So many of these games have been a 3 or 6 point differential. Clearly the turnovers were the key, but there's some things to draw very positive out of this game as well, which is, for my money, still the best rivalry in the National Football League, and it begins with the defense. The Steelers recognized they just weren't going to be able to run the ball, so they really didn't even try. They only had 16 attempts for 48 yards. And they knew they were going to have to throw to get it down the field. Certainly the turnovers, short fields, one's a pick six, made a difference. But the Ravens defense and really just stuffing the run. And let's look at a couple plays, exactly what I'm talking about. When you look at this first play, this is just classic gap defense, building what we call that picket fence. You're going to see the Steelers, they have a big offensive line now. They have an extra lineman in the game. They go tight end over, meaning that an unbalanced line, they have 4 offensive linemen on the edge. They try to get to the edge. I want you to watch number 90, McPhee, the way he holds the edge, the way he sets the edge, forcing it back into the flow of the defense. You can't ask for more from an outside linebacker or a defensive end. It flows it back into the strength of the defense. Brilliant play. And then, of course, there was the huge play the Ravens had to have in order to get the ball back, to try to get the ball down the field and win. This was this key third down. There again, they've got big personnel in the game. They have offensive line unbalanced over to one side. This is a lot of beef. And I want you to watch what happens. Hat on a hat, they create that picket fence I talk about, and on the back side, the left guard and tackle open up, leaving Queen an open slot to come in and make the play. He pulls the trigger immediately, gets the hit behind the line of scrimmage, and stops the play short of the key third down conversion that gives the Ravens one more chance to try to win the game. Great play by the defense against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which had been a pretty good running offense up to this point. Now let's transition to obviously what was the strength of the game. It was the running game. The Ravens had it going. I know that Lamar Jackson had some difficulty throwing the ball. Mark Ingram was out of the game. It was great to see Dobbins come into the game. He had a career high 113 yards. He's the first Raven rookie to have 100 yards against the Steelers in the history of this rivalry. He did it with an amazing speed out of the cut, the great ability to cut back. Let's look at what I'm talking about here. Here you're going to see this is a 7-man in the box, okay? The Ravens are ready to get a hat on a hat. Akari gets up to the second level, but he really doesn't have an angle on the linebacker. And I want you to watch what Dobbins does. He starts to the right, puts his foot in the ground. Look at the angle that he comes out, and then the acceleration after he makes this kind of cut. This is incredible, leads to a big play. You're going to see the same thing later on. This is near the end of the half. Again, it's a fully loaded box. The Steelers overflow. Dobbins again makes this same kind of cut, puts his foot in the turf, comes back at a severe angle, and again, watch the acceleration as he comes out of it. So this bodes well going forward to the Ravens. Dobbins beginning to emerge. They're going to get Ingram back. Obviously, they're going to continue to run the ball well. Really a tough loss, losing Ronnie Stanley to injury. After giving him the big contract, he's a staple on the offensive line. It's going to be tough for them to overcome that. They got a big game, obviously, against the Colts. The Colts are sneaky good. They're 5-2. The key is you got to make Phillip Rivers throw the ball more than 35, 40 times. If he can stay in that 25, 30 pitch count, they run the ball effectively, they can be a tough team to beat, but I don't think they're going to be able to run against the Ravens as we just saw, and they're going to put it in the hands of Phillip Rivers and make him throw the ball 40, 45 times in order to keep up.